To officially begin today's event and formally welcome all our distinguished guests, may we call on the Secretary of Foreign Affairs, Perfecto Yasay Jr.
President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, former President Fidel V. Ramos, former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, Excellencies of the ASEAN member states, Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, the Executive Secretary, and the other members of the Cabinet, the members of the Senate, and the members of the House of Representatives, my colleagues in government. It is not every day one event can rally leaders and members of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations for a momentous convergence, which thus delivers a powerful message of the centrality of this great assembly of nations in the Asian or ASEAN theater. It is not every day that the Philippines is accorded the singular and critical role of serving as chair of ASEAN, which delivers a summons for the entire nation and its people to bring out the best and the finest from among us, to honor the faith and to serve the trusts of all peoples of ASEAN. It is not every day that a regional event of this significance and magnitude is being held in Davao and in Mindanao. That we are gathered here today in this city, long held as a rich cultural melting pot of our nation's diversity and a model for people's prosperity, economic progress, and robust governance, professes our country's direction towards greater inclusiveness and to abide by our declaration to spread resources across the nation, from the traditional centers of power to the regions and provinces in the countryside. We are brought together today by the unwavering commitment to work hand in hand and cooperate as neighbors in our home region with one vision and one identity. It is on this note that I take singular honor and express great pleasure in welcoming you all to the launching of the Philippines chairmanship of ASEAN. On August 8, 1967, the foreign ministers of Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, and Thailand, and the Philippines signed the ASEAN Declaration. This document gave birth to the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, a gathering of nations now considered as the most successful, solid politico-economic force in this part of the world. On that momentous occasion, the Philippines, a founding member of ASEAN, was represented by no less than Foreign Affairs Secretary Narciso Ramos, the father of former President Fidel V. Ramos. With ASEAN's exemplar progress and achievements in the past 50 years, what is not easily remembered are the great odds faced by ASEAN's founding fathers in 1967 It was a time full of distrusts, suspicion, and skepticism. Tensions and disputes besieged the region. Acts of brinkmanship caused instability and insecurity. It was the height of the Cold War, and the threat of communism engulfing the region was serious. Economies were fragmented and mostly struggling. Southeast Asia, 50 years ago, was as desperate and divergent as can be. We vividly recall the words of Secretary Ramos when he described the negotiations which, and I quote, truly taxed the goodwill, the imagination, the patience, and understanding of the 5 participating ministers, close quote. However, he also added that despite difficulties, ASEAN's foundations have been solidly laid, and that ASEAN would marshal the still untapped potentials of this rich region through more substantial united action. The might of the ASEAN Declaration is drawn from the commitment of each country to make unity work. The visionary leaders of these countries saw ASEAN in their minds, sensed the power of unity and centrality, and conferred profound and far-reaching significance to the country's similarity and diversity. There was power in that vision, as is now demonstrated by the important role of ASEAN, which countries and even empires can ignore at their own peril. The aim and purposes of ASEAN were all about cooperation in the economic, social, cultural, technical, educational, and other fields, and in the promotion of regional peace and stability by cultivating respect for justice, the rule of law, and adherence to the principles of the United Nations. 50 years hence, we, the nations and peoples of ASEAN, remain bound by the shared vision of a durable, peaceful, stable, and prosperous region. Moving forward, we continue to take bolder steps to build an ASEAN community with greater political security cooperation, closer economic integration, and a people-oriented and centered approach for social progress and cultural development. All these punctuate the evaluation of ASEAN into a community with a common regional identity. ASEAN may have its detractors, but I would like to say this much about our regional association. We now enjoy peace, security, and stability in the region, largely due to ASEAN's key role as a platform for constructive dialogue, consultation, and confidence building through consensus. We have frameworks such as the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in Southeast Asia and the Southeast Asia Nuclear Weapons Free Zone, and mechanisms such as the ASEAN Regional Forum, the ASEAN Post-Ministerial Conferences, and the East Asia Summit. ASEAN has made key breakthroughs in regional integration with the conclusion of the ASEAN Free Trade, or AFTA. The ASEAN Economic Community is taking shape with the free movements of goods, services, capital, and skilled labor. ASEAN aims to be a single market and production base, a highly competitive economic region with equitable economic development and a fully integrated entity in the global economy. We dare say that ASEAN is an economic powerhouse, a huge market that is the third largest in the world, with a gross domestic product or GDP that is the third largest in Asia and the seventh largest in the world, and a region that has attracted around $120 billion in foreign direct investments. On the socio-cultural front, ASEAN member states have come together to fully cooperate on vital areas such as in education, health, disaster management, environment, energy, women and children, and science and technology, among others. Such cooperation is meant to improve the lives of peoples of ASEAN and ensure a bright future for the next generations. It is also designed to increase regional resilience and equip all of us in ASEAN to better respond to pandemics, natural disasters, and other transboundary challenges. With all these in mind, we take it further this year with our chairmanship theme, Partnering for Change, Engaging the World. The theme speaks of our aspiration to work more closely on effecting positive change in the lives of the people of ASEAN. The substantial issues that we wish to address and pursue for our region with the Philippines as ASEAN chair include, among others, promoting peaceful coexistence, advancing work on maritime security, working towards a drug-free ASEAN, bettering the quality of life and equal access to opportunities, enhancing an environment that is conducive to business, prioritizing health and improved nutrition, highlighting connectivity and innovation, building a disaster-resilient region, and strengthening ASEAN's work and standing in the international arena. To effectively carry out its priorities and that of ASEAN, the Philippines will be hosting 118 meetings during this year, spread out to select cities of the country. With the year 2017 being the 50th anniversary of the founding of ASEAN, the Philippines will also organize commemorative activities to celebrate this milestone. Activities in support of the Philippine chairmanship and the golden anniversary of ASEAN will also be undertaken by our Philippine embassies, missions, and consulates across the globe. My dear friends, ASEAN, with its diverse cultures and history, has proven to be the power of unity, solidarity, and cooperation. Today, ASEAN is a major bloc of 10 countries and a force to respect and reckon with. 50 years ago, the Philippines played a key role in making ASEAN a reality. Over the past 5 decades, the Philippines has steadfastly supported ASEAN and continuously contributed to its progress and achievements. This year, 50 years after, is another distinct leadership opportunity for the Philippines to strengthen the foundation of our partnerships and ensure ASEAN solidarity and centrality for the next half-century and beyond. We are all partners in ASEAN's work, in the region's development, and in making a positive impact in the lives of our citizens. ASEAN's success has been unprecedented, largely built on active engagement of cooperation and collaboration, which have dispelled distrusts and shattered suspicion and skepticism. The once fragmented economies now form part of a thriving, robust community projected to become the world's fourth largest by 2050. Just like what ASEAN's founding members faced then, we are also confronted with an ever-present nexus of issues and problems. In today's evolving global order dynamics, changes are far more rapid and drastic and wide-ranging. The challenges of our times are far more complicated and cross-cutting. We face today new concerns of non-traditional security threats, including new upheavals that impact the geopolitical realities we face on the ground, which make our job not less complex, not less easy, or not less difficult. And yet, we are now better prepared to embrace disruptive events that threaten the peace and security of the region with our solid and unbreakable alliance, because we as a region, as ASEAN, are committed to ride and surmount the crests of that wave called change, the ASEAN way. As ASEAN leads, it also eagerly listens. It is our commitment to ensure that ASEAN continues to move forward, united as one inclusive community, firmly committed to the rule of law and due process, and in the peaceful settlement of disputes in accordance with the legal and diplomatic processes under international law. As we discover and rediscover the might and power of one vision, a common purpose and joint effort, we can truly engage the world with faith, with confidence, with honor as ASEANs. This year, 2017, ASEAN stands proud and ready to confront the challenges and tremendous opportunities before us and move forward together in playing a greater responsibility in world affairs with the enduring legacy of peace, security, and prosperity. Maraming salamat at mabuhay. Long live ASEAN.